Welcome, everybody, to the Sports Scoop brought to you by Canyon Lake Broadcasting. I'm Corey Martelli. We're here every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. You can catch prior broadcast at YouTube. Just go to Canyon Lake Broadcasting YouTube channel. We've got them all there stacked up, and you can catch everything there as well. Got a few things here to talk to you tonight about. Got some new technology and football games, volleyball games, and everything else here going on in Canyon Lake. A lot going on as usual. A lot to talk about tonight. We thank you for coming here. This is our 136th broadcast for Canyon Lake High School over the past 5 years, and this is just really informal, little chit chat, catch up on things a little bit, and make sure you know what's going on the prior week, Monday and Tuesday, and then look forward to Thursday and Friday's games for volleyball, football, track, tennis, whatever season it may be. We'll continue to do this all year as we move forward. Coming to you from the district area champion room. Got all the trophies to prove it over here. And we thank you for being here again. So let's get right into it. We're going to talk a little bit about volleyball. Volleyball, Canyon Lake Broadcasting is going to tell you that Canyon Lake varsity volleyball went into Bandera. They lost in 5 sets, 26-24, 19-25, 26-24, 17-25, in the tiebreaker in a heartbreaker, 13-50. Canyon Lake was up in that last set, and they lost out 13-50, and they'll go to 1-3 on the season inside district, and they'll go 7-13 overall. Canyon Lake volleyball team will be playing Davenport Friday night in the gym. It'll be just a JV game only, since Davenport, our sister school in the district, does not have a varsity team, so it'll be a JV only game. This will give the varsity team a night off to get a little respite for the upcoming flip-flop of the district season. Canyon Lake will host Wimberley in one of the volleyball games. They'll start off Tuesday with Fredericksburg. Then they'll have Bandera visit them. They'll have Wimberley visit them, and they'll have also Bernie visit them as well. So there'll be some home games for the lady volleyball players and team, if you will, here at Canyon Lake coming up. So lots of home games to go to as well. Canyon Lake is a young team for the volleyball, and just like the football team, there's some mental errors, some mistakes that go on, but these things can be ironed out. It's anybody's district at this point, because Fredericksburg, Bernie, Bandera, they all got to play each other again as well. And Canyon Lake is in the thick of things, even at 1-3. So playoff options and hopes still abound, that's for sure. So look for them to turn things around here under Coach Clemens, as she always does, Coach Carter and Coach Malone, and they'll come out and be, pretty active in what they do, looking at a lot of films. And so good luck for the volleyball team coming up here. Again, they'll have the night off this Friday night. It'll be a JV game only, and Davenport will be our guest here. So if you can, you make it out there to see the JV girls play Friday night. Got a lot going on there. So some of the kill leaders there were Anderson Andrews with 7, Claire Schroeder with 7. Aces, Kaylee Moore had 4, and Hannah Harrison had 3. Emily Pena had 3 digs. Kaylee Moore had 16 digs, and she's racking up more digs every game. Olivia Robinson as well. Addison Andrews had 5 blocks, and Hannah Harrison had 12 assists. And so there you go. JV won, however, 2-1 with 21-25, 25-23, and 26-24. So the JV walks away with some wins in Bandera. The freshman won also 2-1 with 25-21, 16-25, and 25-16. So the JV's winning and the freshmen's winning. Canyon Lake varsity, they'll get on the winning train again here very shortly. Did a lot of things different this year in varsity volleyball. No tournaments to kind of find out where you were or where players were, but they are starting to pick it up, and they'll turn things around here soon enough. Well, let's go into the Coach's Corner. Monday night, every Monday night at 6:30, you can watch the Coach's Corner live from the Canyon Lake High School weight room. Last Monday, we had on Coach Corey Mickey. We talked about tennis. If you want to see that interview, just go ahead and go back to Canyon Lake Broadcasting YouTube channel, where you are right now. And we also had guests on Daniel Garcia, strong guard. We had Brett Harwell, strong tackle, and wide receiver or defensive back, running back, multiple talented guy. And Jeremy Green also on the show, talked about football, talked about the Blanco game and a 40-41 loss for the varsity team as they moved to 2-3. And Jeremy Green's had 5 touchdowns in 2 games and racked up a plethora of yards and highlight reels for sure. And McMullen has found him a couple times for those passes, obviously. And it's a good connection between Jeremy Green and the quarterback, 3-year senior Peyton McMullen. So they'll try to hook up again this Friday night. We'll talk about that in just a minute and see if they can get King Lake back on the winning side because, hey, it's 0-0 right now. District starts Friday against the Jaguars, Austin LBJ. So they'll come in town. The kickoff time is 7:30. Pre-game show, as usual, on home games will be 6:30. Come early. Don't be a packed house. Only our second home game. So let's move right along and get rid of those stats on the volleyball team. Over and done with. Next up is the LBJ Jaguar football team. Lots to talk about with the Jaguars. Now, everybody says, hey, LBJ's got 2 D1 commits. True, they probably do. And we'll talk about one in just a minute, and we'll talk about the other. However, I'd like to remind some of the fans that haven't been around since the day one of this school was founded, we have a good history of beating schools with D1 commitments. We beat Sealy we beat Sealy 38-35. It was a barn burner. The D1 commit went to A&M, and that was, I've already forgot his name. Anyway, he ended up going to A&M. It's terrible. Should know these words and facts. But we beat that team. We beat another team also. And I believe it was the new San Antonio startup team about in 2013, I think it was. It was Henshaw's last year. Maybe that was 12, and we beat them as well. And so we have a good history. We have a history of losing against LaGrange in a playoff. They had 2 D1 commits, and they had a really good, strong team. But sometimes you have these just D1 commits here and there. The rest of the team may not be so good. So remains to be seen. Canyon Lake is 7-1 against Austin teams. And most of those teams in Austin were 5A. So we have a good history of competing against Austin teams, and this is going to be a team which is big. They're very fast, and they have a quarterback with quick release. So it's going to be a great game Friday night. And the quarterback that they're going to have out there helping them try to get over on Canyon Lake is going to be number 10, Oscar Gordon. He's a 6'2", 295-pound quarterback. He has a real quick 1-2-3 stop jet arm. He has a quick release, and he gets his receivers real quick because his receivers are so quick. 7 yards, turnaround, button hook, smash right out in the flats, and sometimes they just line up and go. They just go whistle Dixie down the middle. So it's going to be a lot of people on their back heels in the secondary. Canyon Lake's going to have a busy time trying to catch these wide receivers as they are lickety-split fast. So they'll have their work cut out with them, along with Coach Hooper and Coach Means in the backfield for the Canyon Lake defense. But I'll tell you, their linemen are big. This is true. They know how to make holes, and the spread offense is what they run. But that being said, we have some quick linebackers in our core. Patrick Allman, Viatric, Brock Coburn, and they know how to sniff out a running game. But they'll have their work cut out front on the front line with Sean Pendleton, Souza, Maxim, and Ramey up top. A little bit smaller, but a little bit quicker. I feel. I think that they can get around some of these bigger offensive linemen, and they are big. I can assure you that. We've all watched Huddle. You can go on Max Preps and look at their linemen and watch some games that they have played. They are a 1-1 team. Played a real good team in their first game. Beat Austin Manor last week by 35-19, I believe. But they are a traditionally good team. They have 13 seniors on the return. And 13 seniors on the return. Andrew Makuba, he's a D1 commit as well as Latrell McCutcheon, number 2. He is one of the guys that you'll want to look out for. He is a 6'2", 190-pound senior, and he's the one that everybody keeps talking about. So they'll have a key on him as well. So they'll spread the ball out. Quarterback likes to run it from a deep snap, shotgun formation, fake pump, go run. So it's going to be a little bit of that, a little bit of RPO as well. But make no mistake about it, they've got to also play defense. A lot of guys go both ways on LBJ. Latrell McCutcheon will go both ways. He's had an interception, and already this year returned. And he has a partner out there, and that's wide receiver number 2, Andrew Makuba, the senior. Makuba also has a younger brother, offense number 9. We don't know if we'll see him or not, but they are a good team and they have a history. In 2018, they were 8-3. 2007, they were 7-5. 2016, 9-2. 2015, 8-4. And in all those years, they've only been able to go one round deep in the playoffs. So I know the coaching staff over there and everybody at Austin LBJ, they're jonesing to get a little bit deeper and deeper into the playoffs with the supposed talent that they have this year. Okay, so look them to come out, starting up district. They'll have some new plays that we probably haven't seen on film, as will our offense as well. The last time they went deep to the quarterfinals was 2000 and make that 2014. They went 11-3, went the quarterfinals, and they lost to Vandergrift 40-35 in a shootout. But that's the last time they've gone that deep. So 2018, 17, 16, and 15, they went run round by district and lost. 2018, they did beat Waco La Vega 20-17, and then they lost to Georgetown 21-7 in the first round. 2017 went to the first round, lost against Dripping Springs 59-29. 2016 they went 9-2, went to Alamo Heights, a team we were going to play this year, and they lost 21-10. And then 2015 8-4, lost to Vista Ridge 44-27. So they are just aching to get back deeper into the playoffs. They have a playoff quality team in their current lineup. You know, they're going to be come back, no injuries that I'm aware of. That means they're going to have a full complement of players and fresh legs. They've only played 2 games. There may be a few last minute people who may be pulled out of the game that I don't know about it at this time. I just don't know everything, right? It's hard to get injury report, but their defense is for real is also, and we'll get that second. Now, offensively, like I said, RPOs, straight flat fly, let their talent get the ball in their hands, let them do what they like to do. They'll throw a lot in the fats. They'll throw a little bubble screen out there. Get your athletes who can perform the best and let them do their magic on the field, because they will have speed that we are not used to seeing. And I'll tell you that right now. They're faster than Wimberley. They're faster than everybody. And that's going to be adjustment for our defense, our defensive backs, our linebackers, everybody. So I'm sure Coach Hooper and the defense have got some things a little different, maybe show them a little different look, keep the quarterback on his feet in the pocket and uncomfortable. However, he likes to take off and run. The films that I've watched on Huddle, Max Preps, probably the same films a lot of you have access to or don't. I don't know. He will not hesitate at all to take off and run. That is a dual threat. So you'll have to put a spy on him as well to keep him covered. His name is Oscar, number 10. Very, very talented junior quarterback. It's Oscar Gordon. So he'll be one to watch out for sure. Running back is Brendan Jones. Running back is Jaberon Riggins. He's at 5'10", 185 pounds. And I'll tell you, is Fazaj Washington. He's also junior, 5'10", 175 pounds. These guys are scat back fast. And I'll tell you, they'll throw them to the flats. They'll even do a little side pitch from the shotgun formation just to get the ball into their hands. They'll also go wildcat sometimes with the other quarterback, and that's Daquan Donaldson. They'll just do direct snap to him, student body left, student body right, whichever. Let them perform what they do on the field best, and that's get on full speed and show the moves and talent that they have. So Canyon Lake's going to have their hands full with their offense, no doubt about it. Now, defensively for the Jaguars, they've taken the ball away 7 times so far in 2 games. Their takeaway is off the charts. They've taken the ball away, they strip it, they pop it, they know where to get their hands, rip the ball out, they know where to tackle, head up into the ball. And I'll tell you, Canyon Lake has had a turnover problems. So we've had 7 turnovers, I think, in Canyon Lake in the last 2 games. In the last 2 games, you've had LBJ take away the ball 7 times. So something's got to give. However, if Canyon Lake can hold on the ball, play that slot T offense 3.5 yards 3 times, keep their offense off the field, this will be one of the games that the Canyon Lake will definitely have to do that. They'll have to play their best game in order to win against LBJ. And that's a mistake for your football. It's no 15-yard penalties because of temper tantrums. It's no 15-yard penalties for pushing on the pile or doing anything that can cause that. Sometimes you get a unintentional spearing with the helmet, and that's 15 yards. Sometimes things are unintentional, maybe an unintentional face mask or something like that. Those mistakes have got to go bye-bye for Canyon Lake. We can beat LBJ. I'm telling you right now. The reason we're 7-1 against a lot of the teams in Austin is they never see the slot T offense. Even though they're bigger, slot T offense even things out. And that's some of the design to the slot T, right? Don't have to be so big. There's plenty of teams who've gone far, far, far into the playoffs and even won state champions with the slot T offense facing much bigger opponents. Liberty Hill's one that comes to mind. Navarro has been down that road as well. Calallen, Corpus Christi, Calallen, they go deep. They run a kind of wing T version. They do pass, but they get into the ground and pound every once in a while. So there's an advantage there that could be exploited as long as we don't give up the ball. Blocking assignments are what they are. Now, LBJ will definitely take an attempt to make adjustments at halftime or as they go along from their coaches, because it's one thing to play against a slot T, and it's another thing to try to practice when you never run the slot T in a practice squad. And so that being said, they're going to have their hands cut out. Well, going on to Canyon Lake's offense. Well, we may see some people back for Canyon Lake on the other side of the ball for the first time in a long time. I do not know. I do not have the Magic 8-Ball report in my hand, so I can't tell you if they are or not. But that might be, you might say, see Bates get a touch or two. He's back a little bit, getting feel better. You will not probably see Elijah Johnson as well. He'll still out and maintain out maybe till next week, maybe in the week after that. Don't know. Pure speculation, and you might see Jesse Horner as well. I don't know that is either, but those are three running backs that are out. So we'll have a full live complement of defense. Nobody's on the injured reserve or injured as far as I know. Patrick Allman will be back, play the defense well, so it remains to be seen. Well, in the first quarter of Canyon Lake, during the first quarter, we've scored 36 points, and during the first quarter through 5 games, and usually Canyon Lake in the past has had problems scoring in the first quarter. I know they did in 2019 and 2018 as well, but both teams started off at, I think, 6-0, and so in the second quarter we still outscore our opponents 70-50, and then in the third quarter we still have outscored our opponents 49-30, and unfortunately in the fourth quarter we have been outscored 49-32. So in the fourth quarter, we've kind of let up a little bit and had our opponents outscore us in the fourth quarter, and that will be indicative of at least 2 losses that we've had, Jourdanton and Blanco. But our overall yards this year are 2,274 yards, I should say. We've held our opponents to 1,779, and we've had 114 first downs compared to our opponents' 99. And we've rushed the ball for 234 times for 1,800 yards. That's a huge amount of rushing yards for Canyon Lake. We were off the clip last week against Blanco, but look to have some of that back as well. If we break the line, I don't know if we're going to outrun their secondary. However, get a couple of linemen downfield and make a number of blocks, you can get away with just about anything. So Canyon Lake has also passed the ball for 474 yards, thanks to Peyton McMullen, our 3-year senior quarterback as well, and his connection, Jeremy Green, and they've done very well. One stat that stands out here, we've had 42 penalties for 347 yards, something that needs to go in a backward mode, in reverse, if we're going to get ahead. So simple offsides, 1st and 5, 1st and 10, then it's 1st and 15, whole nother ball game, especially against a team like Austin LBJ, the Jaguars. We can't be doing any of that, right? The completion attempt percentage is 27 completions and 57 attempts. 1 interception all year for Peyton McMullen, so there's a lot of success there. But here is a kicker here. We've lost the ball. We fumbled it 8 times, lost it 6 times. That was the 6 I was talking about a little bit earlier. We've lost the ball 6 times, and that comes from the last 2 games. So the fumble bug has hit Canyon Lake. We'll see if we can't turn it around this week. And rushing yards for the sophomore is Shane Moss, 48 runs, 421 yards. He is averaging 8.8 yards a carry. He's got 3 Ds, and his longest run's a 75-yard touchdown. And so Shane Moss is doing what he needs to do as a sophomore, as Bates is out and he's taken over and done a fantastic job. And hats off to Shane Moss. Had some lessons to be learned this season. And against Blanco, he held that ball and nobody took it away from him. And down the middle he went and had a pretty good game. Behind him in rushing, I think we're going to see him as Jesse Horner with 358 yards. Behind that is Derek Viatric, slowly moving up. Derek used to be the fullback, and when he got hurt, that's when we brought in Bates last year, and Bates has taken over. He has 1,009 yards in his first season, and so hopefully we'll see him back this week. Maybe not. I don't know. They might keep Derek Viatric, became linebacker, and now he's back on this side of the ball. So who knows what's going to happen with Viatric, on what side of the ball he'll be. He may go both ways, as he's been doing. And so on the other side, we have Peyton McMullen, the quarterback. He's got 261 yards racked up. He is the fourth leading rusher, along with Ryan Rivali on the 247 yards in his pocket as well. So they spread the ball around a little bit. We're just going to have to find a combination that works. And being that it's district, we'll pull everything out we can, because if we get a victory here, it's a huge victory. We'll face Taylor the following week at home. It'll be homecoming. We would be favored. So it's a possibility if we could win Friday night, we could go in to the third game of the season, which I believe is Fredericksburg, with a 2-0 record, because Fredericksburg, they're for real. They are for real this year. They always are tough. Let's not get that wrong. But they're for real. They whipped Bernie in their home in overtime. I say whipped, but came away with a great win in Bernie as well. So we'll have that. Then we'll run into Lampasas at home, and the left-handed gunslinger, Snake the Jake, he'll be coming in town with the Lampasas crew, and they're state ranked as well. Then we'll finish the season at Bernie. So if we could get 2 games under our belt before we run into Lampasas, and that would be, make that Fredericksburg, that would be great. So look for the coaches to try to pull everything out they can to get a win Friday night. Everybody come out and support us. We need all the yelling and screaming, not just, every so often. Quit talking in the stands, ring your cowbell, go horse. Use your voice up as much as you can. We're going to need it. We're going to need all the support within. It's going to be a tough game. They are going to score because they are a talented group of players. They're well coached, and we're going to need everything. So if things get a little low in the football game, you need to just stand up and take over. We only got 4 home games this year, so please be there and please be loud and be loud often. Receiving yards, Jeremy Green's got 10 receptions for 214 yards. He's got an 80-yard long play. He's got 5 touchdowns, and those happened in the last 2 games. Jeremy Green has come uncorked. Second is Tyler Pauly with 6 receptions for 133 yards, no touchdowns. And, Colton Ramey, the tight end, had 1 catch this year for 11 yards, but he scored. So Colton Ramey, the big Mark Bavaro, if you will, tight end, for y'all people that know who Mark Bavaro is, right? I'll let y'all look that one up. They spread it around the Rivali, Horner, Schultz. So Kenyon Lakes has spread the ball around a little bit, not too much, relying on Jeremy Green. He's the go-to guy, or has been. We'll see how much we see of Jeremy Green going both ways on the offensive defense. He's had a heck of the last 2 games, and it really helped Canyon Lake stay in the games. Offensive line, offensively, they've done a great job all season, and they'll be full, ready to go. No injuries there. Tanner Schultz is somebody I want to talk about real quick. Number 40, Tanner Schultz, doesn't get a lot of accolades on what he does, but he's part of the offensive line. He comes in like a tight end with Ramey, a jumbo package, double tight sometimes. But if you go back and watch films like I have, you'll see just how integral he is for the offensive line. And some of the people I think may overlook him a little bit. There are some pass plays that he's eligible to go out as a second read, I think, on some of those pass plays. But Tanner Schultz, watching for tonight, there may be some things that we pull out of the hat that we usually don't have in non-district football games. You might see that as well here on Friday night. Like I said, kickoff times at 7:30. We'll air our football pregame show at 6:30, and we'll get all of our everybody in as we can. And sorry about that. We've got a little bit of adjustment to do here. Got a new toy that Darren gave me. Supposed to make me a little brighter. I don't know, but he says I look like a werewolf. Well, maybe so, but if he's not here running the show, then it's difficult to do. Well, Canyon Lake, we'll be there. We'll be there Friday night. This is going to be a short podcast, but again, Canyon Lake has got to play a good game. I'm telling you, we have an opportunity to pull a victory out. They're going to come high, riding into our stadium, looking at our record. And there's been a lot of teams in the past have come in and look at Canyon Lake's record and walked out with a loss. So I won't let the 2 and 3 fool you, because we've been in every game we've played. It's not been a blowout. Obviously, Blanco was not a blowout. And, Jourdanton, it could have been a different ball game. 4 fumbles. It's hard to get over on a great coach team with great players, all seniors, state ranked, even though they're 3A. And we were in that ball game to the end, just had some mistakes and some fumbles. You can go back to Wimberley, week 1. We were a half yard short of beating a number 10 state ranked team, and we could have won that too. So all the games we're in, and I feel very confident that we can be in all the games we're going to play from here on out. It's just a matter of eliminating those silly mistakes or losing the ball. The assignments are there. I don't see many people standing around missing assignments on the offensive line, that's for sure. We've had our coaches' corner. We've had pretty much the whole offensive line on there, and we'll talk about that here in just a minute. But they're getting their assignments, as well as the running backs getting their assignments. I very seldom see a running back blocking for a running back that misses an assignment. It happens. There's different defenses. They're good athletes, but it's a helmet-on-helmet situation, and our offensive line has done it very well so far this season, if you want my opinion. Well, I'm giving it to you anyway, right? All right, so back behind the ball, we'll probably see, again, Rivali, a mainstay back there. Probably see Viatric as well. Might see Moss, probably for sure see Moss. He'll be back to running the ball as well. On the end, you'll have Schultz and Ramey, Tyler Pauly coming down out with Green as usual. And so you'll have the offensive linemen down there as well. And defensively, they're going to have a hard time in corralling a lot of speed and a lot of talent. Not that it says it can be done. However, they may have fumbleitis this week too. Best way to tackle these guys, as far as I can tell, is right around the knees, and that'll bring them down. So they're 1-1. They are beatable. They do get scored on, so we know that teams have scored on them. I think we'll score on them as well. I don't think it'll be a game much over about 28-21, something like that, because I think Canyon Lake has the opportunity to keep them off the field. I really do. And so I just go back to seeing the other Austin teams we've played over the last decade, and we've done very well against them. And some of them are pretty talented teams, but there's a couple of Austin teams, not very. East Side Memorial is one of them. God bless them, but those only count for two of the 8 games we've played. So I think we have a possibility here. So anyway, come early, be loud, don't get down, stay in the stands and get loud. There's no reason for you to go to a high school football game with your Hawks on the field to be chit-chatting around and not paying attention on the field. We got to have people stamping their foots on the bleachers. Bring your megaphone, bring your cowbell, bring everything, okay? We'll try to play some music to get you guys up off your feet. I'll do the best I can, but it's up to you, the fan, to stay positive, to keep going and cheer our students on. Your son's out there making it happen. Don't get complacent in the stands and sit there. Last week we had a big game. It was an ebb and flow, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And finally, we lost and to Blanco at the overtime. But you need to be out not only on your feet at kickoff, but you need to be loud and proud, stomp your feet, get motivated. I don't care what you do to have to get motivated, get motivated. Well, win or lose after the game, which I think we can pull one off. I really do. I think it's the 3rd time I've said that. We're going to go out to Guadalajara and meet at Guadalajara for a recap of the game, and we'll be down there. There's going to probably be a YouTube on a recap of the game. They can replay it as soon as we get it downloaded. So look to go to Guadalajara and see the game right from the beginning. We'll see if we can get them to put it on, and we'll go there for after game regalia. And then if you want to see the Coach's Corner, I encourage you to go back. Good stuff on Coach's Corner, tennis and football. Coach Corey Mickey has everything going on in the tennis department. Really good program. And next week we're going to have on Tanner Schultz. We're going to have Colton Ramey, and we're going to have running back Ryan Rivali. Those are going to be 3 biathletes on there, and we'll also have a guest coach as well. So I look forward to doing Coach's Corner every Monday night at 6:30 from the weight room, and then we'll go into Wednesday to do the podcast. We're here every Wednesday, and then obviously Friday Night Football Live, 6:30 is pregame show, and we'll get that started. Hey, there's a couple other things I'd like to make an announcement on. Overlook Park, the dam, the area, Because I Said I Would program, they're going to be doing trash cleanup. If you want to go trash cleanup, you got to, click on the QR, get your name, sign release, make sure you don't have COVID, go down and help Jeff Stracer with the Overlook Parkway cleanup. It's the second annual one. They do a great job. Trash bag. I think they had like 38 trash bags last time. All of our little friends from all over San Antonio come out here and wherever else they're from and pollute our lake and litter and everything. So this is a good time for the Because I Said I Would program. They do a good job headed by Jeff Stracer. Also, October 14th is Meet the Hawks night as well. Don't forget about that. Next week at the high schools, they've got all kinds of things going on and run up to homecoming because the next week is homecoming. So get involved, stay involved, be legit, be a legitimate person, if you will, and help support your Canyon Lake Hawk athletics. We're going to have also coming up pretty soon, we're going to talk a little bit about swimming. That's another sport that's kind of going on right now, warming up. That's Coach Kim Moses. She also does that, among other things. And look forward to talking to her sometimes in the middle of probably the Taylor area. We'll see if we can get her on and some of the other football coaches. So this concludes the podcast, a little bit of hub, what's going on. Again, practice safe distancing. I'm going to have to say that a lot. Don't get perturbed. These are the rules and mandates, but want everybody to come out. You can watch the game in the stands, if you will. Just put it on your phone. Be a little time delay, but you can see the plays right after you see it. I know a lot of people put the earbuds in on one ear and they watch the game on YouTube in their hands, and that's something that's always pretty cool to do, even though we're a little delayed. It's still, a replay, if you will. You can look at it that way of the previous play. But anyway, I want to thank Steve Chris Brown, Mr. Beatrick, Mr. Anderson, Mr. Anderson, Grandpa Anderson, LJ's parents as well, Colby Duke, and Steve Crisp, Mike McMullen for all pitching in and getting the camera and equipment purchased so we could give you the broadcast we think you deserve. I want to thank Darren, the producer, has been with me for 5 years out here, done a bang-up job, got me this nice little light. I don't think I'm using it quite right, but we're going to get better here on my end. And I want to thank the Canyon Lake High School faculty and staff for supporting us and allowing us to do Coach's Corner and podcast, and Jim Robinson down there at the school. Now I'm working at Canyon Lake High School. Good to be there. Good to see the students again and be involved in any way I can to help out Canyon Lake High School right here, man. And also want to thank Comal ISD, Andrew Kim, Steve Stanford, Jason York out there, our single member board representative. Jason's been there for many years now. He's done a heck of a job. I just got back from a Comal Forward meeting, and we're going to start that bond talk again. And there's so much going on in Comal ISD. You can't believe it. But a lot of good things coming to Canyon Lake because of that. We'll probably have a bond election in March or April, I believe. That's a long ways away, just giving you a little heads up. So thank you so much for coming here tonight. Like I said, this is our 5th year, 136 broadcasts for the high school. Very proud of that. We'll see you tomorrow, Thursday. Thursday we have a game. It's Davenport, I believe. It's JV. There's going to be one game, I think, at 6 o'clock, but we'll be coming to you live from the Canyon Lake High School Friday night at 6:30 and get Friday nights going. So, Canyon Lake Hawks, thank you for joining. Go Hawks and BTHO, the Jaguars. We'll see you next time here on Canyon Lake Broadcasting. Peace.